are made with excitement, some out of habit. But this one was different. A short family trip, just 3 days, just 6 places. But life had other plans. I didn't know I was about to walk into temples that felt older than time, or that stone could feel softer than my own heart. I didn't know the rain would talk to me, or that silence would say so much. Maybe I was looking for peace. Maybe I was looking for pieces of myself. Our first stop was Horanadu, the home of goddess Annapurneshwari. She is the goddess of nourishment, not just of food but of spirit. They say no one goes hungry here, and I felt that. Not just because we were fed, but because there was a strange fullness in the air. We performed an Annaprasanam here, Annaprasanam, the first solid food feeding ritual for babies. In Indian culture, this is one of the most sacred samskaras, a reminder that nourishment is sacred, that even something as simple as rice is a divine offering. As I watched my family smile and offer that first spoon of rice to a new life, I felt time pause. We were part of a ritual that's been performed for centuries, and in that moment, nothing else mattered. Not the what ifs, not the plans that fell apart, just love and rice. Next, we arrived at Sringeri, a place that breathes silence. Adi Shankaracharya founded this matha over 1200 years ago after witnessing an unusual sight, a cobra shielding a pregnant frog from the sun. In that moment, he knew this is where wisdom belongs. Sringeri taught me something profound, that even opposites can coexist. A predator and prey, rain and sun, peace and ache. And maybe, just maybe, love and letting go. We walked slowly here, no rush, as if the air itself asked us to breathe differently. I sat by the river and closed my eyes, and for the first time in weeks, my heart didn't feel heavy. It just floated. Then came Agumbe Ghats, the Chirapunji of the south. The clouds here don't just touch the mountains, they walk with you. As we drove through the winding paths, it started to rain. The kind of rain that doesn't rush, the kind of rain that listens. Agumbe reminded me of how healing doesn't come with noise. It comes like mist, quiet, soft, and covering everything. Maybe that's what my heart needed. Not a thunderstorm, just a little fog to remind me that even when I can't see the road clearly, I'm still moving forward. We made our way to Udupi, the home of Lord Krishna. But here, you don't see the deity face to face. You glimpse him through a small silver window, the Kanakana Kindi. There's a story behind it. A low caste devotee named Kanakadasa, denied entry into the temple, stayed outside singing to Krishna. Moved by his devotion, Krishna turned around inside the sanctum, broke back wall, just so Kanaka could see him. That window still stands, and Krishna still looks in that direction. And I stood there, peeking through that little opening, thinking maybe we all have our own Kanakana Kindi, a narrow, unexpected window through which the divine comes to meet us. Not when we shout, but when we sing softly. Not when we demand, but when we surrender. Maybe love is like that too. It doesn't always arrive the way you expect, but it always finds a way. We passed through something that felt unreal, Maravante Beach, a road stretched out between two worlds, the Arabian Sea crashing endlessly on one side and the calm Saupernika River flowing gently on the other. I don't think I've ever seen such a perfect metaphor for life. The wild and the still, chaos and calm, and us somewhere in between. We stood there quietly, letting the wind mess our hair, the kind of wind that knows things you haven't said out loud. I didn't take many photos here, I just felt it. Sometimes that's enough to just be with people who matter in a place that asks for nothing except your presence. And then we reached Murdeshwara. Standing tall by the sea is the second tallest Shiva statue in the world, 123 feet. And yet, he doesn't feel intimidating. He feels like stillness, like someone who knows what it means to break and still sit tall. Murdeshwara is named after Ravana's act of trying to pull the Atmalinga out of the ground, a story from the Ramayana. The legend says a piece remained here, and so did a deep, sacred energy. As I stood by the waves, I thought of all the pieces of myself I have tried to hold on to, the promises, the future I imagined. But sometimes letting go isn't losing, it's trusting that the sea will take what it needs and leave behind what is truly yours. But Murdeshwara wasn't just about tall towers and towering thoughts. After the temple darshan, we walked down to the beach, and for a while, we stopped thinking about anything at all. We let the ocean play with us. The waves crashed, we ran, we laughed like kids who forgot about time. The sand clung to our feet, the wind tangled our hair, and the sun dipped lower like it was watching us with a smile. It felt like life was saying, you don't always have to heal in silence. Sometimes joy is a kind of prayer too, and laughter is just another form of surrender. Belur. I had heard about this place, but nothing, absolutely nothing, could prepare me for what I saw. The Channakeshava temple, built by the Hoysalas, took over 100 years to complete. Every stone here sings, dancers in motion, stories from the Mahabharata and Ramayana, delicate jewelry carved into stone. Can you imagine that? Carving a bangle so perfect it spins around a stone wrist. This wasn't just architecture, it was devotion, it was patience, it was love and obsession with beauty, even if it meant never seeing the end result in one's lifetime. That's what love should be, right? Not about completion, but the sheer joy of creating something beautiful together. And even if it breaks, it still remains in memory, in stone.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ಈಗ ಹಳೇದು ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಿಟಕಿ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕಾರೆ ರೋಗ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ
ಯಾವ ಭಾಷೆ?
ನೋಡಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಇದನ್ನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದು ಡೊನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪೀಸ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಪೀಸ್ಗಳು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರೋದು.
ಓ, ಇದು ಭೂಮಿ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರೋದಾ? ನಿಜ. ಬಾದಾಮಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು. ಬಾದಾಮಿಲೂ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಏನೇನೋ. ಪಟ್ಟದಕಲ್ಲು.
Our last stop was Halebeedu, the ruined city. Once the proud capital of the Hoysalas, it was attacked multiple times by invaders. The temples still stand, broken but absolutely breathtaking. And maybe that's why I loved it most, because I too feel like Halebeedu sometimes, a little ruined but still here, still capable of holding beauty, of telling stories. The Hoysaleshwara temple here is dedicated to Shiva. Over 240 figures of Shiva, each different, each alive. Time tried to erase them, but they endured, just like all of us. It doesn't matter how many times you're broken, you can still be someone's place of worship. This trip wasn't just about temples or heritage. It was about remembering that even in the noise of life, there are places where your soul can hear again, where carvings speak, where silence holds you, and where rain feels like grace. To anyone going through a quiet ache, I hope you find your temple, a place or a moment where everything feels like it makes sense again. Until then, may you walk with grace and be carved not by pain but by love. Thank you for being here. I'm glad we took this journey together.